Once upon a time, in the lush embrace of a tropical jungle, there lived a formidable female leopard, known for her exceptional hunting prowess. With sleek, shimmering fur, the color of polished mahogany, and eyes that glistened like golden coins, she was a sight to behold. Her lithe, muscular body moved through the dense foliage with unmatched grace and agility, making her the undisputed queen of her domain. One fateful night, as the moon cast eerie shadows through the thick canopy, the leopard's keen senses picked up the scent of a potential meal. A porcupine, unaware of the danger lurking in the shadows, had ventured into the leopard's territory. Now the air crackled with anticipation as the skilled predator began her stalk. Moving with the stealth of a seasoned hunter, the porcupine, oblivious to the impending threat, continued on its slow, steady path, unaware that it was being stalked by the most feared feline in the jungle. And so, the stage was set for a confrontation between two very different, yet equally formidable creatures. The outcome of this encounter would be a testament to their unique skills and adaptations, showcasing the raw power of the leopard versus the unyielding defense of the porcupine. Who will claim victory in this clash of wills? Will it be the ruthless leopard or the resilient porcupine? Let the ultimate showdown begin. The jungle was silent, but the silence was dangerous. Every leaf trembled in the breeze as shadows stretched across the ground. Out of the darkness came a leopard, its golden eyes locked on a small creature moving slowly across the forest floor. The predator's muscles rippled with power, each step deliberate, calculated. It was the perfect hunter, built for speed, strength, and stealth. And ahead of it was what seemed like the easiest meal of the night, a porcupine. At first glance, the odds looked unfair. The leopard's fangs gleamed under the fading light, its paws silent against the soil. The porcupine, slow and heavy, looked vulnerable, an easy catch in the predator's territory. But what seemed like weakness was about to become the wildest twist of survival. The leopard crouched low, tail flicking, heart pounding with hunger. Then, in one swift motion, it leapt claws out, jaws wide, ready to claim its prey. But survival has its own weapons. The porcupine's quills shot upward, sharp spines standing like a fortress of armor. In a flash of chaos, the leopard's paw struck, only to be met with piercing spikes. The predator recoiled, but not fast enough. Several spines drove deep into its skin, sticking like burning needles. The hunter's growl turned into a roar of pain, as it realized this fight would not be simple. The porcupine didn't run, it stood its ground, turning its back to the attacker, presenting the wall of spines that no predator wanted to face. The leopard circled, furious, eyes glowing with frustration. It struck again, this time with more caution, but every swipe brought more agony. The spines lodged deeper, forcing the predator to back away, bleeding and shaken. For a moment, the jungle seemed frozen. The porcupine moved steadily, every step reminding the leopard that some battles are not worth the scars. The mighty cat, once fearless, now limped, carrying the painful lesson carved into its own body. Now, you must be thinking that the leopard, scared and hurt, would immediately run away and leave the porcupine alone. But no, pride still burned bright in her golden eyes. Despite the throbbing pain in her paws and the humiliation of a failed hunt, she refused to yield. Her predatory instincts took over, overriding the agony. This wasn't just a meal anymore. It had become a matter of honor, of proving her dominance. But every strike against that armored back sent fresh spikes of pain into her paws. The jungle watched, silent and still, as the leopard battled not just a porcupine, but her own wounded pride. Each snarl, each frustrated swipe etched another memory of pain into her being. The porcupine held its ground, an island of spines in a sea of emerald green. And with every passing moment, the leopard grew more desperate, her attacks wilder, more reckless. The night air hung heavy with tension, the symphony of the jungle replaced by the grunts and snarls of the fierce battle. The porcupine's strategy was unwavering, its resolve as solid as the shields it wore. Yet the leopard, though wounded and weary, refused to surrender. The spectacle of the hunt had become a macabre dance of attack and endurance. Then, as if nature itself had taken pity on the wounded leopard, a soft light began to filter through the dense canopy above. Dawn was breaking. The porcupine, sensing, perhaps, the futility of continuing the fight as the daylight would come soon, decided to make its move. It waddled forward, slowly and steadily, its quill-covered back a bulwark against the leopard's frustrated swipes. The creature moved into the shadows, disappearing into the labyrinth of the jungle. The leopard, wounded, snarling, and empty-pawed, watched it go. Its reflection in the nearby water was a mix of exhaustion and defeat. The nocturnal hunt had claimed not just the porcupine, but a piece of the leopard's untarnished pride. As the first rays of sunlight touched the dukest leaves, the leopard disappeared into the undergrowth, leaving behind the echoes of a battle that defied the odds. Hidden in this encounter is more than survival. The jungle teaches that strength doesn't always come from speed, size, or raw power. Sometimes it comes from defense, patience, and the courage to endure. The porcupine didn't defeat the leopard by fighting back with equal force, it won by relying on the gifts nature gave it. trusting its own unique armor when the danger was overwhelming. In life, we often face challenges that feel bigger, stronger, and impossible to overcome. The leopard represents those pressures, fierce and unrelenting. But like the porcupine, each of us carries something within: resilience, patience, or a hidden strength that can turn the impossible into survival. The fight is not always about attacking. Sometimes, it's about standing firm until the threat realizes you cannot be broken. As the leopard retreated into the trees, licking its wounds, the porcupine vanished into the shadows, victorious without ever needing to chase. And the jungle whispered its lesson again: never underestimate the quiet strength of those who seem defenseless. Because survival often belongs to those who know how to endure the storm. They say that legends are born in the heart of the wild, where untamed spirits roam free. Among these, the porcupine stands as a symbol of resilience, its story echoing through the ages. Have you ever encountered a situation where the odds were stacked against you? Did you find yourself facing a challenge that seemed too daunting, too overwhelming to confront? Just like the porcupine in our tale, you may have felt trapped, cornered by circumstances beyond your control. Yet, despite the weight of these hardships, you held your ground. You endured the torment, the struggle, the constant pressure that threatened to break your spirit. Yet, in your moments of vulnerability, you discovered a strength you never knew you possessed. You found solace in your own unique armor, the shield that guarded your soul. Perhaps it was your unwavering belief in yourself, your values, your dreams, or your deepest convictions that kept you standing tall amidst the storm. Maybe it was the quiet support of those who stood by your side, their presence a beacon of hope in the darkest of times. Think of the porcupine's steadfastness as a guiding light in your journey. Remember that true strength doesn't always roar. It can be found in the quietest corners of the heart. Resilience is not the absence of struggle, but the triumph of the spirit over adversity. So whenever life's predators try to dim your light, stand firm in your truth. Let your experiences be the brushstrokes that paint your resilience, and know that in the grand canvas of life, your story of survival will inspire countless others to do the same.